That's not your price range, bro. This video is sponsored by Carolina's Motorcycle Her Services LLC. Let's face it, no one wants to lose a loved one, let alone lose a loved one to this lifestyle. No matter the reason, let Carolina's Motorcycle Her Services give your lost loved one the last ride that they deserve. For more info, you can go to carolinasmotorcycleherservices.com. It'll be a link in the description box below. What's shaking with it, guys? Road King Cino here, bringing you another episode of the Dirty Left Shoe Chronicles. You dig? I don't want you to think that this video is any kind of clickbait, you know what I mean? So just to clear it up, this bike right here is for sale. Everything's for sale that you ever see me ride or drive or whatever. It's just a matter about being offered the right price. I have had some offers on this bike. I have had some inquiries on this bike, but nothing to get me motivated or have me motivated to sell it. If this bike is gonna go, it's gonna go for a number that I'm pleased and I'm satisfied with. So, hey guys, if you're willing to make an offer or you wanna make an offer, you can always shoot me a DM on my Instagram. You can always shoot me a message at my email, dirtyleftShoeChronicles@gmail.com. or roadkingcino@gmail.com, or you can also send me a message on my Facebook page at Road King Cino. Today's video is going to be what not to do when selling your motorcycle. Alright guys, so we're going to take this step by step, and it's just a few things. Obviously, it's going to be more things and more tips that people could give you and advice. Things that I don't cover, I want you to leave in the comment section below and let me know what you go about and how you go about selling your used motorcycle. No matter what the platform is that you're selling your motorcycle on, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, whether it's OfferUp, I don't care if it's old school Craigslist, you gotta be realistic. First, you want to make sure you got your pricing right. Don't go overboard with your price. Sorry guys, there was a few trucks back here and they finally gone, so I'm sure you can hear me a lot better. Don't go asking 2020 prices for a bike that's 15 years old, that's 10 years old. There's nothing special about it. The bike is not a collector's item. The bike is not a classic item that's very sought after. You know what I mean? It's just an old damn bike. You can do that by looking at the Blue Book value on it, by actually checking whatever platform you're using to sell it and seeing what bikes of that particular make and model, what they're going for, what they're selling for. And rule of thumb, just a quick little tip. If a bike is selling for, let's say, $8,000 or something like that, and you've been seeing it on there for months and months and months and months, and you had the same bike, and it's pretty much in the same condition, that's not your price range, bro. Change it up, drop it down a little, whether it's in a couple $100 increments or, you know, $100 or $500, what have you, and see if you get some hits. Another thing not to do is not having your paperwork right. If you're selling a motorcycle, let me explain something to you. If you're selling a motorcycle, guys, we talking about actual motorcycles, you know what I mean? Not little, you know, pit bikes, dirt bikes, little bikes you get from Pep Boys or anything like that. Actual motorcycles, scooters, what have you, things that come with titles, you know, that you title and register. Make sure you have your paperwork right. Make sure you have a clean, clear title in hand, if that's the case. If it's a salvage title or some type of branded title, make sure the person who you're selling that bike to knows prior to you meeting up. The worst thing a person want to do is going to buy motorcycles, and I buy a lot of motorcycles and come across a lot of deals on motorcycles, is get to the meeting point and find out that the title's bad, or they still owe money on the bike, or they don't have the title in hand after they said they had the title in hand. Another thing, always want to meet in an open spot, in an open space, public area where it's people at. It's a lot of situations you can get into if you don't know who you're dealing with. It's a lot of scams out there that you could get into if you don't know what you're dealing with or who you're dealing with. And let's face it, it's a lot of goddamn thieves out there that if you don't know who you're dealing with, they can get over on you. Next thing you don't want to do is don't withhold any info about the bike. Don't withhold any problems Don't withhold any type of issues with the bike, whether it be cosmetic, motor, whatever. The more you can say as far as the description about the bike to the person who's buying, the better chance you can have of selling it. That's as long as you're selling it for a reasonable price, considering what may or what may not be wrong with it, and that you're just being honest about the transaction. That way, at least when you do sell it to that person, or if they decide to buy it, they know exactly what they're getting. You don't have to worry about them trying to get a hold of you or trying to get back in contact with you in case there's some type of issue that comes up later that you didn't tell them about. Brings me to my next point of what not to do. Don't speak on what you don't know about. It's okay. Like, a lot of people, they out here on these bikes, to be honest, and they don't know any information. They don't know a lot of information about that particular bike that they ride. They don't know necessarily how much horsepower it might be putting out to the rear wheel. The best thing you can do is only speak on what you know about. Don't go speaking on things about the bike that you don't know about, whether it be performance, whether it be something with that particular year of the bike that was offered that might not be offered for other years. No matter what the scenario, if you really don't know about it, it would be smart for you not to talk about it. Reason why I say that is because you got guys out there like me, or females of course out there like me, and they go and buy bikes and they're very knowledgeable about it. And the thing is, if I'm going to go get a bike and someone's assuring me that it's good to go, no issues, no problems, then they start telling me little things about the bike that's not adding up, that doesn't make sense about the performance, about how this bike does this, and this was the only year that they were able to do it with. You know what I mean? If they're telling me things that I know 100% about this bike that is a lie or that does not add up, it's going to take a little bit of their credibility from them. So I'm going to be a little bit more wary about if they're telling me the bike is good to go, any issues, any problems. I'm going to be a little more wary about that as a buyer. These last two things I'm going to tell you guys, if you don't take anything else from this video, take this from the video. I swear, if you do not listen to anything that I say and just look in the comment section and listen to what everyone else says, or you know what I mean, any other advice that people offer, take these two last things that I'm going to say is the most important thing as a seller, okay? That is, if you do not have cash in hand, no test ride. Meaning, if this guy's coming to buy this bike from me, and this is a cash deal, you should only be dealing in cash, especially with private party, okay? This is a cash deal. This guy's coming as a prospect, as a buyer who possibly might be buying this bike from me. I want them to put that cash in my hand before they take and test ride my bike. Can you guess why? If you can guess why, leave the answer below. Reason why, man, is that if you don't have that cash in hand and they go test ride that bike, they go bend that corner, bust their ass, you know what I mean? You out of your money. They could technically just fall, get up, leave your bike there, hop in their car, they out. So you don't want to get caught like that, man. I say get caught with your pants down like that. You know, always make sure you got the cash in hand. Full amount. I need full amount, full cash in hand before you take that test ride. You got some people that might be familiar or might be so knowledgeable about a particular bike, a particular motor, they might not ask for a test ride. They might be able to just look at the condition of the exterior of the motor, and they might, you know it's good. Hear it crank up, things like that, and they know it's good. So that's kind of a toss-up. Some people they will want to test ride. Some people, they won't want to test ride. They might just want to hear it start up, or might want to see you ride it and shift through the gears. You know what I mean? In some type of enclosed area. This brings me to my final thing not to do, okay? What you don't want to do when you're selling your motorcycle. Do not, as a private seller, I'm not talking about if you're selling a dealership, this, that, and the third, you're going through selling as a dealer or what have you. As a private seller, do not accept partial payments. I'm gonna tell you guys, that's one of the worst things you can do, is accept partial payments, even if it's a cash deal and they want to pay you half, okay? First of all, if you pay me half, you're not getting the bike and you're not getting the title, okay? Second of all, if you pay me half and I was to ever accept some type of deal like that, I'm gonna give you, you know, anywhere from 30 maybe to 90 days, depending on what we would negotiate, if that were the case, to finish paying off the rest of that bike. And if you don't, I'm keeping that half and I'm going to go resell that bike that you never finished paying for. Okay, so to relieve yourself from all of that and the headache of it, the issues and the problems that people come up with where, you know, their job, you know, things got bad on a job, their money got tied up in something else. Do not accept any partial payment on a motorcycle. If they coming with only half the money, 9 times out of 10 they got some type of issue with getting all of the money. That issue could very well roll over into your situation. Next thing you know, you got a bike sitting there that you have for sale, someone made claim to, you really don't want to ride it no more, anything like that, and all you have is half the money. Alright guys, so that's just a few whatnots when selling your motorcycle. Again, there's plenty more out there. Feel free to leave in the comment section below other things, other advice that you can give on other people that might be selling their bikes. And I'm gonna close this video out. Make sure if you haven't already, you comment, like, subscribe, and most of all, share this video, guys. I'm trying to get these subs up. I'm trying to, man, hey, I'm like the Jeffersons, man. I'm trying to move it on up to the east side. You dig? Peace.